Welcome in, everyone, ladies, gentlemen, 18 percenters, Rebels 24/7 subscribers. It's been quite the 24 hours. A little more than that now since the last time we were with you. So let's go ahead and recap that a little bit, unless there is something that I'm very, very much unaware of heading into tomorrow morning. This is likely the blue sky for Monday morning. Mr. McCready over there working on 10 thoughts. We'll get those to you at some point. Again, a lot of content up at Rebels 24/7. So come stop in. Still the chance to get 75% off for your first year with the VIP option there. Great sale, great discounts. A lot of you guys come and hang out with us as always. Appreciate that. And as I've been telling you about the last week or so, you see a Venmo thing on the middle of the screen. No pressure, no big deal. Not asking you for anything. But if you do take advantage of that to try to keep a little money away from the man, we appreciate if you put Venmo in all caps when you make your comment. Question for us to answer. We would appreciate that there. Big news, a lot of news. Lane Kiffin, he is currently on a flight to Baton Rouge. There's no doubt about that. I guess it took off. I saw him getting on the flight, so I assume that flight did take off and head toward the state of Louisiana. And Pete Golding, the new Ole Miss head football coach, not just the interim, the full time, the permanent head football coach. So we'll kind of break down yesterday how we got there, how we get there today, and what all as we move forward. Be with you for a while, so let's get into that a little bit. Neil, now that it is pretty much done, we'll have some assistant coach stuff. We'll have some housekeeping to do. Um, General impressions just over the last 24 hours. You said this was the, and I need you to recap exactly here. Again, we're gonna hang out a little bit. We're gonna take it one thing at a time. You recounted what was sort of like your Mount Rushmore of crazy ass things that have gone on, and it seems like maybe you're putting this to number one with a bullet.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has lasted 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks. I kind of lost track of the days. It's been all consuming the last few weeks. It's been really weird. You can't, at least you kind of felt like you couldn't say a lot of the things that you heard. Everybody had a source. Everybody got something from a family member. Somebody said this, somebody said that. I've talked to more people in the last 6 weeks than I ever want to talk to, honestly. Nothing against people. I just don't like being that social where I'm on the phone constantly. And I felt like I was. I'm sure you did too. And yeah, I mean, I've covered the Mike Price thing. That we've told that story a lot, having to go to the strip club, Arity's Angels and Sammy's. I covered a story once where a Tennessee booster was funneling money to T. Martin through one of my colleagues at the Press Register. I once had to cover a story where my boss at the Press Register was arrested for solicitation of a male prostitute in a public park in somewhere in Baldwin County. That was
Really
fun. Yep, that went
I
fun.
haven't heard that full one. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, yeah, that was not fun. Let's see. I've covered the Laramie Tunsil draft night thing, which we've told a lot of stories about that.
Lindsey Miller Esquire versus Steve Farice.
I've covered Lindsey Miller Esquire, which was wild. I mean, I've covered a lot of crazy stuff. And this just felt like the craziest. And then yesterday, the way that it unfolded, and there was a moment last night when Auburn tied the Iron Bowl, and I looked at Laura. We were sitting in the living room, and I said, I can't do another week of this. I can't do another week of this. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, if Auburn wins, we're going to do a whole nother week of this. I just can't. I can't do it. And I've never, when Kalen DeBoer went for it, good shot, Chet. When Kalen DeBoer went for it on fourth down, I was like, dude, no, you just kick it, get the points. And then they scored, and I was just, that was a roll. I mean, I was roll tide at that moment. I know that a lot of Ole Miss people wanted to go to Atlanta and play in the SEC championship game, and I totally understand that. But I don't know that my sanity was going to take another week of of this, because like last week, I mean, I felt like a total idiot a couple of times. I mean, I'm in Palm Desert, California, trying to get a walk in. I'm walking 5 miles, 6 miles. I don't know what it was. I walked a long time. I never, not 1 second, was off the phone. And it was like you're having the same conversation over and over and over and over. And as you know, I have believed for weeks that Lane Kiffin was leaving. I think I told you the night of the Georgia Ole Miss game, I was trying to get back to the hotel and there was a wreck and I was caught in traffic, and I got back that night and we had a major leak in the house and all that stuff was going on. It was bad. It was a bad night. And I told you, I said, he's leaving. I remember that saying he's leaving, and you were like, yeah, you'd watch the video, the post game, and I said he's gone. He is not coming back. And I said this Oklahoma game is going to be really consequential. And the only thing I kept telling myself was, don't go too strong with this, because this guy's not going to walk away from a playoff team. And if they beat Oklahoma, they're going to the playoffs. I told you, if they lose to Oklahoma, it's night. It's curtains. Close them. Done. And they beat Oklahoma. And then I was like, well, surely he won't leave. And I kind of checked out of it, thank God, for a week or two. And then it circled back. And I don't remember the exact moment that I switched from he's not going to go to he is definitely going to go. But there was a moment, and it happened like kind of like that. And I realized he's gone. And the more that it started happening, the more I went, I don't see how other people don't see this. And I would get kind of mad at myself because I was a little hesitant, because our audience is mostly Ole Miss fans, to say that I really felt like he was leaving, and I couldn't understand why people were listening to all this stuff and thought he was staying. And then yesterday, when people kept saying he's torn, I was like, are you crazy? He's not torn. This is a guy that he wants to coach the playoff. He wants to coach the playoff, period, the end. And it was a matter of whether Ole Miss was going to let him or not. And this morning, Chase, we had a conversation where, based off a conversation you had, I started thinking, oh my God, they're going to let him. And
yeah, because we're going to go through the whole last 24 hours in a minute, so we'll take that one step at a time. But yes,
but I was just to finish the thought on it. I thought, oh my God, they're going to let him. And I went in and had to rewrite something. And as I looked at what I was rewriting, I was like, this is insane. And I dreaded it. I dreaded that happening, because I was like, I'm going to have to be really critical of the whole thing. And then today unfolded, of course, it unfolded the one day and the one couple of hours where you were gone and I was in a car. I was having this debate about when do I get the Uber to go get my truck, which was still in the Memphis airport because I'd been blocked in on Thanksgiving. And I went to get it. And as I'm coming back, of course, everything's happening. And, but it worked out. I was literally walking in the door when I got the first text that, hey, it's Golding. And I thought that meant as interim. And then within seconds, probably 20, 30 seconds, it was, I think it's permanent. And because no one used the word permanent or full-time or anything like that, I kept going, man, how strong do I go with this? Because it was antithetical to everything you and I had been told in the weeks leading up to this. We kept asking about Pete Golding, and kept going, no, it would be Judge on an interim basis. And obviously that changed. It wasn't that it was wrong. It wasn't wrong at the time, but it changed.
yeah, and we'll get into that. No, I don't. I don't think Pete Golding was on the radar for this job 36 hours ago. But that is where things have moved. Again, we're going to get into this a good bit as we move forward. I expect the Pete Golding press conference to be on Tuesday, is my understanding. So sometime Tuesday there'll be a formal press conference there. Let me get to a few of these real quick. Super chats. Appreciate Mike. Let's say Hootie. Is that right? We didn't scramble to look elsewhere for a new head coach because Pete's been waiting in the wings for years. Carter Boy's playing way ahead. Where coach was from a few hours of a result. That feels good. Yeah, not really how this went down, but we'll get into it. Appreciate the super chat there.
I mean, that's gonna
Tim,
be a spin. That some people are gonna spin that, and that's just not right.
no, no, no. Let's see. Tim, Love Chase, Neil, Rippy, and Tyler in that order. Tyler won't be offended. Hey, he's back in though. We'll get to that in a minute too. Christy, hey, good to see you. It's about damn time. There's probably no wrong answer there. Definitely. Did Charlie Weiss get on the plane? Yeah, Charlie got on the plane, but that's not done yet. Ole Miss is fairly optimistic that Charlie Weiss will be with the Rebels during the college football playoff situation and then potentially permanently after that. So he just was not decided the way that
Oh,
most other coaches were decided either way. There is we'll cover it. We'll see.
oh,
Don't
that's
take
news.
anything that I'm saying there as 100%, but no, there is a good bit of optimism that Charlie Weiss's Ole Miss tenure is not complete when he stepped on that plane today. So,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
oh, you didn't know that? Okay,
No,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. So we'll see. I've got that from two really good sources. Sammy, thanks. He sends $40 along, $10 for each staff members, and to be getting on the jet of cowards. Airport videos is a must see. I don't remember casing my firestorm comment exactly. Let me think about it. And we'll probably look, we're both pretty tired right now. Over the course of the week, we will remember more anecdotes and stories and things, and we'll get those things to you on the podcast as the week plays out. To the point that I probably will make a list and write them down to go over them one by one. I have not done that right now. I've been back from Memphis for about 35 minutes. Neil's been to Memphis today. We've had a bit of a busy day. Tigers baseball, thank you. Says longtime listener, LSU fan. Appreciate what you guys do. Continue to support and listen. Better than our media. Hate how messy this went down. Next year's game will be something. That is a very accurate statement there, bud. It is the
yeah.
SEC opener in Oxford between the Rebels and the Tigers at Vaught Hemingway Stadium, September 19th. Get your tickets now. Good grief. I mean, because Neil, hold on a minute. Like, I'm going to go through these things. This is not recency bias or creature of the moment. Lane Kiffin at this moment is more hated than Hugh Freeze has ever been, and it's not close. Not
Not
even
even
in the
close.
realm of close.
Yeah, no, not no. I mean,
There's nothing to compare with this. Look, and then Lane. We're going to read his statement in a minute. Jesus Christ. Sorry for my language. And then
uh,
he's getting on the plane and tells Marty Smith, number one, throws Pete Carroll under the bus and then backs over it and says Pete Carroll told him to go. Okay.
oh,
And
okay.
then says, God told me to do it. Whoa, 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 hold on. What? God told you to be an asshole for the last 42 days? What are we talking about, Lane? God told me to do it?
Man,
So much here. So
oh,
yes, that is where we are at right now on this.
God.
Uh, yeah, I know. Kyle, thank you. Super chat. Thanks y'all for this. Maybe you get some Triscuits now. Chase roll tide roll. DeBoer leaving after the playoffs. I don't think so.
No,
And then Daniel, Neil, no Kiffin seminar. No, I don't think Neil's going to get him a seminar. Also, apologies to Blake who won the most recent helmet. That bad boy ain't getting signed by Lane now. We're out of luck. So tell us who you want to sign it. If you want it signed, we can get some other options, but that's not gonna happen. Uh, you led your story today with a really funny anecdote that you and I both had heard separately. So that gives me a little bit of belief that it was real.
I
Pete
think it's at
Golding.
least what real.
It is at least somewhat real. Because let's do that real quick before we back up, and I kind of want to go through what's happened over the last day. Is Pete has done a hell of a job the last few weeks on holding things together as much as an assistant coach can. The defensive side of the ball, recruiting to whatever level you can do any recruiting, which is not much over the course of the last few weeks to months. And just his relationship with other assistants and players was pretty critical in him getting this job and something that was filling in where Lane was not a strength at all. Lane, other than his couple favorites, was not a player's coach at Ole Miss at all, and Pete and some other guys have filled that Judge have filled that vacuum in a lot of ways as time has gone on. Somebody asking about staffing Ole Miss, and we'll get into why this is critical and how it played into a lot of the conversation. But they're going to keep pretty much the whole defensive staff outside of Lane's brother, obviously. Neil, is that correct? Are you with me on that?
Yeah, I think the whole defensive staff outside of Chris Kiffin is, it looks like definitely going to stay through the playoffs. I had a couple people say to me today, "Hey, be careful with going too far with anything past the playoffs because nothing's in concrete." But I think the defensive staff, I would, if you're not putting them in concrete, you're at least putting them in something similar to concrete. Offensively, I don't know, right? I don't know what you'll have to dive into the Weiss thing with me. I think if you tell me that Weiss is staying, okay. So I got told it was kind of fog of war for a minute, Chase, and I didn't want to disturb you. You were at something that had been planned for weeks, maybe months. And of course, it's all going down and people are calling me. And man, people are asking like, "Hey, can you do my radio show?" I'm like, "Dude, stop." Like, really? I'll do Richard Cross's because I talked to Richard. I'm doing his show tomorrow. But like the people that don't ever, like, never mind. That was wild, happening in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, Richard will do our show as a friend, not the same thing as the guy from Huntsville who suddenly needs you
Yeah,
for 25
yeah,
minutes.
yeah. It's like, come on. So I was told that the offensive staff, and this was when I had a kind of a voila moment, like, oh wow, this is how that went down. That the offensive staff was all offered a spot and their salaries doubled. That's what I was told. Sourcing was pretty good. And I think I look back on that and they meant through the playoffs. Like what you would normally make in December, they're double.
Oh, really? Okay, got it.
I don't know that it meant permanently. Hell, it might. I don't know. But I think I may have gotten a little over my skis on that one.
Okay.
I kind of retreated and got it back, I thought, but you know how that is. Once it's out there in the ether, it's gone. I don't even know that I answered your question. That was it kind of depends
Just
on what
staff members, who's leaving, who's staying, that kind of thing. That's all.
the wide receiver coach McDonald, he's gone.
Yep.
One of the inside receiver coaches, he's gone. Smith stayed, but there's debate about whether he'll stay. Garrison stayed, and I think he will stay.
Ole Miss believes that Kevin Smith is staying full time, but there has been some change. There has been some, like you said. Let's just all kind of take a breath a little right here. Let's get settled, and we'll get some of these answers. But that was given to me today without a caveat, so we'll see where that goes as time goes on with the staff situation as it sees fit here. Let's see a couple other ones before I get into kind of the last 24 hours.
Cox stayed for sure. Joe Cox stayed for sure because I know that one. I know that one positively.
Okay. Mother Auburn, thanks for the super chat. You guys are great. Started following as an Auburn fan through McCready and Siskey. Ole Miss won today with their decisiveness. How can we repair the Auburn-McCready relationship?
We'll see.
Okay. Philip, thank you. How much did family wanting out of small towns have to do with any of this? My guess is not much. I heard Layla wanted a bigger city life. Just curious thoughts on it. Yeah, I'll get to that as we kind of go through some of this. And then Holden, what?
You're gonna dive into that?
I mean, dive might be strong, but we'll nibble. We'll see where it goes. Holden thanks, said hopes it turns out like the 1989 Michigan basketball championship with Steve Fisher. Yeah, they went to a title with that one. And then says, how is this hire any different than the Luke hire? Trying to trust Keith but comes off as a rushed, emotional hire. It wasn't emotional at all. That is definitely not the word to what happened over the last day or two.
It's just totally
just different worlds.
I mean, Matt was inheriting an interim deal where the program had cratered and was getting chopped off at the knees by the NCAA. Ole Miss had no momentum. I mean, Hugh Freeze's last game at Ole Miss was a 35-point Egg Bowl loss to Dan Mullen, where Dan Mullen, who made a career at Mississippi State out of at least pretending to hate Ole Miss, got bored and stopped.
Put up double nickels and then quit.
Could have scored 70 points and just stopped. So totally different scenario. This is Ole Miss 11-1, about to play in the national playoffs. Tons of momentum, just won the Egg Bowl for the 5th time in the last 6 years. This is a guy that's got coordinator experience. Matt did not have that. It's different. You know, and look, Pete doesn't get enough credit. 3 people don't get enough credit for the last 6 years. Jeff Lebby and DJ Durkin for in the 2020 year when Lane Kiffin was a complete train wreck. They held it together. And then in, I guess, when did he come in? 2022? When Pete Golding came in and was like, hey, what's your recruiting operation? And it was like, well, we don't really have one. And Pete was like, well, we kind of need to get one. Probably need to recruit, you know, to win in the SEC. Good God. Jesus.
I'm sorry. Tyler Siskey, everybody, jumping into the thread stream here today.
What are y'all laughing about? What's so funny?
Wearing a little garb.
Yeah, I had to go dust some stuff off and get the mothballs off a couple things, and we're back, baby. We're back. Let's go, hotty toddy. Let's go. We're just to go. Hey, we're about to go. We're about to go win this natty. Let's go, boys. Go, boys. What do you think, Neil?
I'm speechless. Really, I don't have a lot to say at this very moment.
Hey, do you think Pete gets into the group chat with all the people, or he doesn't get in, right, Sissy? Like, not gonna.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. It's probably an interesting group chat today, I imagine.
Figure so. So, yeah. All right, let's get into where this thing's set up and how we got here. Ole Miss scheduled a meeting with Lane Kiffin yesterday afternoon, 3:00. Or it was originally, I think, supposed to be earlier than that, and then ended up being moved to the afternoon, and went on way longer than expected. Typically, meetings that involve Lane Kiffin don't go for hours at a time. They're more in the minutes than the hours. Yet yesterday, 2-3 hours, and what came from that, I think, was a complete impasse. Lane Kiffin wanted to coach the college football playoffs with Ole Miss, wanted to finish up, but he wanted his cake and wanted to eat it too. He also wanted to take the LSU job today. He wanted to go ahead and start that process, and he had safeguards in, according to 1,000 media members and sources and everybody. Everybody's kind of on the same page on how this went down at this point. What he called safeguards to, protect Ole Miss from all the possible worries with the LSU coach in the building for more than a month and all that crap that was ridiculous. And then it didn't just stop there, though. The ultimatums came in. Lane Kiffin saying that if you don't let me do this, I am going to take your entire offensive staff with me to Baton Rouge tomorrow, and you're not going to have any coaches to coach in the playoffs. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And he had gotten to a lot of these staff members and had convinced them to do that, or at least Ole Miss believes so. And I think that sets up to where this entire day went, because, Neil, correct me if I'm wrong, I think everybody kind of went to bed last night thinking Lane had the power to execute this plan should it come to pass, that either he got to be the fox in the hen house, or Ole Miss was going to literally need bodies at some point to coach to practice and coach their playoff games.
I don't remember what I thought last night. I remember early this morning, and you and I had gotten into this really bad habit of talking before 6 a.m. And at the conversation that you and I had changed that, and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna cave to this guy? I couldn't believe it. And I think that was actually an option. And then obviously one of these days, maybe we'll get the TikTok on how exactly that went down this morning. I know some things that went down. You do too. Tyler probably does too.
Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my opinion was always very consistent. And I said this all along, and it created a moment and a meme and probably a thing that will probably never go away on MPW Digital. It happened on McCready and Siskey when AJ was with us, and I made AJ and Tyler both fade out of the picture. I said, you can't let the LSU coach in your building coaching your team for what would be 20 to 50 days, depending on how far you went in the playoffs, right? A minimum of 20 and a maximum of 50. 12 teams, 2 are going to make it to the 19th of January. You can't have the LSU coach in your building coaching your team. That is basically sitting yourself in the corner chair.
How about that rebel? How about that rebel Trey Harris, man? How about that rebel Trey Harris with the first down right there, Neil? Let's go.
Did he?
How about
hey, Siskey, you're not just an Ole Miss gear. You got the script M on. We got the script M.
I'm digging it out of the closet, boss. I was digging them out, man. I found all kinds of stuff. I'm bringing out tags. I got a shirt with tags on it. I'm coming out with tomorrow. We're gonna make this a daily. We're gonna make this a daily deal. Then we got the big game, basketball hoops game on Tuesday night. Let's go, Reps.
Siskey is a proud basketball season ticket holder.
I am. I've officially donated to the athletic department. Let's go.
So help me out here a little bit. I know you haven't been in this exact situation. Go ahead, Neil.
Real quick note. I'm told that Joe Cox is in Baton Rouge right now, the Ole Miss tight ends coach. Okay. I was told that he was not going, but am now told that he is in the building there in Baton Rouge.
Okay. So they are in the building. All right.
Yes.
So as I'm telling this story and kind of going over the morning a little bit, Siskey, help me out with just the mindset of, I know you haven't been in this exact situation, but the mindset of coaches when their head coach potentially comes to them and basically goes, hey, I need you to leave this team. I need you to do this today. And is promising security. I mean, what's going on in that profession in their heads as that's playing out?
Yeah. Regardless, I know there's going to be a lot of fans upset at assistant coaches and things like that. It's a no-win situation. You can't just go get jobs. There's no like LinkedIn. You can go, and go, or classifieds. You can go. I mean, there's very few of these jobs, and at this level, there's even fewer. You can't hold anything against an assistant coach if they don't have security or whatever it may be. And I don't know, you guys will know a hell of a lot more about this than I do. I don't know what Pete's going to want to do offensively and all those things. And obviously defensively, it's a lot easier, but offensively, I don't know if he's going to want to do the same stuff they're doing, do something different. And, or what those conversations were. But as far as assistant coaches, you don't have a choice. You can definitely go look, but that's a tough conversation to have with your family. Like, hey, look, I got this job guaranteed right now to continue making what I'm making or more, or the possibility that I don't have a job and we're looking, and it's just, you can't fault assistant coaches for that. It kind of, I get it. I trust me. I understand. But it's not the same thing as a head coach. They don't get to choose like that.
No, I mean, you're going to say, hey, let's risk it all. Let's roll the dice.
Yeah, you got to be in a really, I mean, it's a shitty position to be in. I've actually for thank goodness I've been fortunate enough on this side. I've been a part of 2 coaching changes to where I'd already had a place to go before the end of the season, and I just was finishing out the season and had to tell Gus Malzahn and Steve Campbell that I was going. I'd already had a job. Ironically, both times it was Ole Miss, but I was already the first time going to Ole Miss, and the second time coming back with Matt, I already knew that whatever that was, early November or late November, early December, whenever it was that year. But yeah, it's tough, man. It sucks for the families. The thing that, and again, it's a little bit different. You always, trust me, I'm not trying to make anybody feel sorry for anybody, but just giving you the mindset. It's a very this time of the year is very stressful for families. And I'm not talking about coaches, more families, because now you're in a position to where you're constantly like relieved when you win games because you don't think you're going to get fired, and then all of a sudden, if you win too many games, you're going to have to move too. And so it's a delicate act. And like I said, I don't blame any of the assistant coaches because you don't know what position they were put under or all the circumstances that surround that.
Yeah, and quickly, no, on the offensive side of the ball, Garrison is here and Kevin Smith is here, and then they are not at all giving up on Charlie Weiss. They do think they expect him back for at least a playoff run, and then we'll go from there. That's kind of where that's sitting right now from an Ole Miss perspective. So, yeah, last night, Lane, I don't care what Lane said to Marty Smith today. He put an ultimatum on Ole Miss, let me coach, or this is where this thing is going to go at that point. That happened right before where Neil led his story with today. We both heard that essentially Lane had gone back to the office, was watching the Iron Bowl, and that Pete walked into Lane's office and told him to go home. That he should not be watching the Iron Bowl there. And then the part that we were a little more unsure of was basically said, this is not your office anymore. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
People
That's what we got.
People have turned that into Pete saying that this is my office, and that's not
Yeah,
what I heard.
that's not the same thing. Yeah.
Not the same thing at all. He said exactly what I heard was, take your ass home to watch the rest of this game. This isn't your office anymore. I think Pete had been fed up with the charade that was being played where Lane was doing this, I'm torn, when you weren't torn. You weren't torn at all. You knew what you were doing. You just wanted to have your cake and eat it too, and you were willing to make this big threat that could blow up a team and a program 3 weeks before a 3 weeks before a playoff game. That's exactly what that was. That's it.
And this is going on the heels of, oh God, Neil. Go ahead. Finish up.
I think Pete looked at that and said, look, I got to tell you, yesterday was probably a rough day for someone like Pete Golding. You sit on the stage, Tyler's not going to like what I'm about to say, and you watch Nick Saban just lie on national television. Just lie on national television. Just one big, giant lie. And then Pete has to deal with Lane, and there was a lot of lying. And I have a feeling he just kind of was like, this is stupid. At some point, somebody tell the truth here, which is, the whole – I mean, there's no way Nick Saban actually believed that Ole Miss should let Lane Kiffin coach the playoffs as the LSU head coach. There's no chance. That was a CAA play. And Golding was probably quite fed up with Lane, knowing that, look, if I'm still going to be here, what you're doing right now is literally undermining everything we're trying to do from a program standpoint in terms of recruiting and all that stuff. And then you have kids in the room, and I know for a fact that this was happening in the defensive meeting rooms, kids in the room saying, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? I mean, the story I'm told is true, where TJ Dottery walked up to Lane Kiffin at practice and said, where's your purple?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had this stuff going on all around. It had to have been at some point where coaches are like, you know what? These kids have done everything we've asked them to do. You asked them to do a lot over the course of a year. They've done everything you've asked them to do. They've won 11 games, and at some point, don't say it's about them if it's not about them.
And this is coming on the heels of several weeks ago, and Neil might can help me exactly when this happened. It was about Florida, not even about LSU. But Lane had done an internal poll with coaches of, hey, would you go? What's going on if we do this? And got very frustrated by some no's. Did not get yeses across the board. And it showed you mindset of big program, big name, where he's just sort of been from deciding what job to take and what not, because there was a lot of angst there after that. And Pete was one of the big guys kind of spearheading the defensive side of that of no, we're here, and basically cut the shit at that point. So when you're going to bed last night and you're Keith Carter, Ole Miss's admin, Glenn Boyce, Eric Wood, everybody involved, you've got Lane throwing up this ultimatum, seems to have the votes to get this thing done, and you've got a day, and at that point, a team meeting at 9 a.m. The expectation is that that Lane is going to tell everybody he's headed to LSU at that point. And then you got to figure out, are you going to let that happen, or are you going to potentially let him coach, as Neil mentioned? You got a couple bad options, and you got to pick the best one at that point. They had a team council meeting before that around 8 this morning. That's a leadership group between Ole Miss's players. That's Daugherty, Eccles, Bryson Sanders, Diego Pounds, Trinidad Chambliss, Dejon Stribling, Austin Simmons. Off the top of my head, those are some of the 12 members that are on that.
Tyler
Close
Banks.
Okay.
Tyler Banks was definitely there.
Okay.
Most definitely there.
Oh, really? Really?
100%. Tyler Banks was absolutely there. Yes, sir.
You felt like, yeah, it sounds like in a second you're going to have an anecdote regarding Mr. Banks.
I mean, I'm willing to share it. But yeah, he was
right.
he was there for sure.
All right, so we'll get there in a second. So they're meeting with Keith. Hey, what do you think? Where are you guys at? And it's one thing that I pointed out earlier, and I would definitely think Siski would understand this more than anybody, is you got 100 players. When somebody goes, what does the team think? There's not one answer. It's 100 different people. I mean, you're going to have some that think this and some that think that, and relationships that are different and whatnot. And outside of a couple players that are very, very close with Kiffin, it was a lot of frustration. It was a lot of getting tired of the stuff. It was wanting an answer. It was not and we had multiple people that were telling us stuff from in here. It was not anywhere near, no, we absolutely have to have Lane. It was, we need the assistants. They're all really tight with their different assistant coaches, and they were just tired of the crap. And for the most part, did not care whether Lane was there or not, just wanted the charade to end. Apparently Lane avoided the first couple times that he was being summoned to join the meeting, to the point that the group had to go to Lane at that point. We were told by people in the room. And that when that happened, Lane gave some version of, no, not really like this. I just want to coach you guys. Basically, I don't want to have it. Basically, some version of the statement that he later sent out that was complete bullshit. That I just want to make sure I finish this job with you guys, and I'm the victim, and I'm not being allowed. And then some other assistants had come in and what were described by other people in the room as almost nervous and going by script, where they just kept saying the same words over and over and over again, and you could tell it was not a normal conversation at that point. One of the players heard one of the assistants then ask Lane, did we answer those okay? Meaning, did they stay on script with that as they left? And at that point, players very frustrated. And Neil, you can kind of help me here. I think as this is playing out, and we're having to kind of put some tea leaves together, but when you've got these options, you know that the players are not overly tied into Kiffin, that you're trying to protect, if you're Ole Miss, season, program, long-term, short-term, the whole thing. That's where Pete comes into full focus, because it allows and gives you the ability to have some semblance of chemistry for your current situation in this playoff, and then what Ole Miss at least hopes is a more long-term solution at that point.
Yeah, a lot of the players, especially defensive players, felt like the offensive they felt like Kiffin was being untruthful about what he had said to the offensive staff. Kiffin denied Chris Lowe's report to them. He told them it wasn't true, that he had not given an ultimatum to the offensive staff. He had. The players wanted to talk to Kiffin. They had Keith Carter call Lane Kiffin. Kiffin didn't answer the phone. Eventually, they got fed up with that. They went to seek him out and didn't like the answers. They asked, I was told they asked to actually see the other offensive coaches and to ask them the questions, and they did. They did not like the canned answers, as you said. And at one point, it's my understanding that at least one player, and probably more, told Kiffin, get the hell out. You tell players to buy in. Tyler, you know this. You want players to buy in. You want them to take ownership in the program, right? You want a player to own. You want to take ownership. Don't just be here. Care about it. Well, that goes both ways. And
I mean, it's
when you're when you're a guy like Tyler Banks, who is, played a lot not played a lot, but been there a lot, earned the respect of his teammates. He wears the number 38. And, for him, he's like, I've bought in. I've been here a long time. I've bought in. You're not bought in, get out.
Yeah, it's tough. I've been through those things. On the staff of, staff's leaving or whatever it is, and players are going to be emotional, for the most part, regardless, because players, you get in a routine and things are changing. And, I think that the unprecedented thing here is like usually when changes are happening, it's, you're at a group of 5 school that you've won a bunch of games and you're getting a job to go somewhere, or you're getting fired because you didn't win enough games or whatever it is. This is unprecedented. I don't even know.
11-1 at a power school
in the freaking SEC, man. Won 11 games in the SEC. Yeah. And, look, Lane's a different bird. We all know that. If you've talked to him for 5 minutes, you know that. This whole even contemplation of doing this kind of really blows my mind. Everybody, literally, I cannot find over the last few weeks as this has unfolded, I could probably say some things now. Obviously, I've talked to a bunch of coaches at different places, and to a man, there's not a single person, a single coach that didn't go, what the hell is he doing? Like, why would you? He's in such a good spot. You know what I mean? Like, but Lane's got his reasons for whatever that is. He's got them. And again, if he wants to leave, I said this before, he didn't like it and wanted to text me about it, but I'll say it again. It's not about him going. If he wants to go. It's the way that everything was handled is, for me, is very unprofessional, to the profession, and, you get into this, at least I did. I wasn't born on third base, like 90% of the coaches. I wasn't born on third base, and so I had to work my way up from being freaking scrub to, I went from being a scrub to a has-been, but at least I got there, right? And at the end of the day, though, when you get into it, you don't get into coaching to make money. You don't, because 99.9% of the people that ever coach make a very average living at best. You get into it to affect people in a positive manner, and you do it for the players and for the kids. That's the whole point. And somewhere when this money got involved, I think there are people that view it in different ways. But somebody asked me, 4 weeks ago, like, hey, what would you do? I said, if it was me, I said, I don't know what person wouldn't have signed the extension 5 minutes after it was put on the desk and like, let's roll. It was such a good situation. Maybe he goes to LSU and wins a bunch of national championships, but I think it's very hard to do. I think he's going to regret this one one day down the road, in my opinion.
I think that's probably pretty fair. And then even going out and puts this thing completely on Ole Miss, does this same crap that, as Neil mentioned, that CAA has been doing all over ESPN and the talking heads for multiple weeks now. You could go down the list. It was Saban. It was David Pollock today. Oh, big time jumping in. Peter Burns has been jumping in like crazy. Matt Hayes called Ole Miss the petty one in this situation. Holy shit. That was one. My God.
And then when Tulane said they'll let John when Florida said they'll let Tulane, you know what I'm saying? John's going to get to coach playoffs and still be the Florida coach. By the way, congratulations to our friend John Summerall, the new head coach of the Florida Gators. I've had to put my away. How about that? I've had to put my my Gator hatred away.
What are you going to do, Neil? You're
just going to shift your Todd Golden NIL money over to football now.
And now you got to like those Florida fans again.
Shifted to football, yeah. But he was like, well, Tulane did it, see? And I'm like, in what world, Matt? In what world are Tulane and Ole Miss the same thing? One's an SEC team, one's a group of 5. In what world? I mean, I think I said what little brain cells you have left. I think they're dead.
You did.
Well, like here's the thing, and I'm trying to be as transparent and as fair as I can. I think I was trying to explain this to Chase yesterday, not very successfully, but the saying that there's two things can be true at once, right? But there's really not. It's just two things are true. I don't think they coexist. I definitely think, if I was coaching, I would want to coach the team too. Every coach would want to coach the team, okay? But at the other side, like you have to understand the Ole Miss standpoint, and all these people that and look, we can look. It's two things, guys. I mean, we can call it what we want to call it, but ESPN like is about money. They know Ole Miss is going to be in the playoffs. They would love to have Lane Kiffin on the sidelines. That is just a content money making. Just crack open the cash registers for the playoffs. That's probably their point. And then, the Coach Saban deal, and I love him, and everybody knows that. I'm not going to tell you anything I don't know. But, like, we know what that was. I don't even hold that against Coach. He's just taken up for one of his. Like, Neil, if I got on the show and you wanted me to push a narrative, you're my boy. If I could just, I'm a loyal guy, Neil. If you wanted me to push some freaking narrative, I'd be on there just freaking pushing the shit out of it and letting just people kill me all day. I mean, because that's just how we roll. And so I think some of that was probably Jimmy, and some of that was probably Lane. That he's pushing that thing. But look, at the end of the day, like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, because if Kalen DeBoer was getting ready to prepare for Auburn and winning the game at going to the playoffs in the SEC title game, and he sent his family to Baton Rouge and Gainesville last week, they would have ran his ass so fast out of Tuscaloosa and paid the buyout and enjoyed it. And they probably would have taken up offering at church to pay out the buyout, like across the state of Alabama. Like, so for people to say that, why does Ole Miss any different? That's what I don't understand. It's like, how can you say that? Because at any other team in this league, if Beamer would have sent family to Clemson and to freaking North Carolina or somewhere, they'd have ran him out. Like, it's just not. It makes the whole athletic department look. It's like we don't negotiate with terrorists. That's why there's a thing in the United States. It's the same thing. You can't set a precedent. But I also would like to pass out the big deuces to the savage Keith Carter and Glenn Boyce. With the emoji with a freaking Snoop emoji with the glasses and the freaking Marlboro Red, man. Those guys are freaking dogs.
Put in a weird spot, found the one way to get Lane out of the building, because as Neil said, you couldn't let him coach the playoff. That could not be the option. That was a no matter what, that was it. And what you were able to do, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, but it's what you're pulling off with Golding is players were very, very excited, almost to a man. I mean, it's 100 kids. Not all is going to be exactly the same. But for the most part, very, very excited. They came out of the building basically saying, we beat Kiffin at one point, because they all sort of had locked in. There was one word that came out there from that. I think the players felt some relief just from where this had gone. And when you're looking at what Keith and Boyce's options are, the other thing here too is the board was starting to empty out. John Sumrall was way down the road with Florida. It was way past time with him. Once Lane was coaching the Egg Bowl, it was too late. You had Alex Golish go to Auburn this morning, 10 o'clock, 10:30, whatever time. That was off the board, and it was a multifaceted way to accomplish a lot of things at once. What?
Ryan Silverfield went off.
Sure. I don't think he was on the board to begin with, but yeah, sure. Sounds good. Whatever you need to tell yourself there, it's all good.
They interviewed, I think they made contact or interviewed with pretty much every coach in America. I mean, that one right there. That one was, I mean, I know I'm not telling Neil anything he doesn't know, but I was like, I got to the point where I couldn't keep up.
I mean, I think he interviewed himself silly. You're a chick.
Oh.
And then there was we'll get back on the subject. There's a big Arkansas website that did a poll, and they put up, who would you want? And it was Golesh, Womack, Silverfield, and somebody else. Silverfield was dead last, like 2.3%. And he's who gets hired. Woo!
I do think I do, but here's the thing too: is like I get it. I think there's a lot of people that go when it comes to these coaching searches and all that stuff. Everybody, there's so much pressure to win the press conference, and there's not enough like hire the guy that can win games. I think I've never understood. I mean, it's probably I would love to be an AD one day. I never understood how people hire like the natural progression to being a head coach is you hire the really good coordinator, but 90% of the guys don't call plays. So you're actually hiring somebody off of qualifications that they're not actually going to do as a head coach. Like you're looking for people who are organized, that are leaders of men, can develop culture and can freaking recruit and develop relationships and can coach the coaches. You're not really looking for coordinators. And so people are so worried about winning the press conference that they forget what it takes to win games. I mean, I'm sure shout out to my now 11-1 Texas A&M Aggies. I'm sure that they were not very excited when the Elko walked through the door either. That wasn't going to win a press conference, but they're winning games, and he's getting it done when the person who did win the press conference couldn't get done. He's getting that job done. So I think a lot of times people are so worried about winning the press conference that they forget the goal is to actually win football games. But I think Ron Silverfield, I think, is a good football coach. I do. You can freaking get mad at me all you want to, but I think the guy can coach football.
Lane, when he left campus, was basically escorted off campus. How excited do you think Lane was to make that call? Keith was to make that call. Hey, can y'all just go head on over and escort Mr. Kiffin from the premises as he's leaving? Just give a little heads up there.
I saw the Marty Smith interview. I knew because of my intimate knowledge of the Oxford airport over the years. As soon as I saw I knew exactly where he was doing the interview. He went to the freaking back door back there by the fire department, and he did not go through the normal. I don't know if that's where they told them all to go because of the crowd there or whatever. But that interview took place at that gate right behind where the fire department is down there on the end, towards the end of the runway.
Marine Rebel, does this mean Siski's going to join the staff? I don't think
Retired.
So. He's into other things.
Hey, look, I don't care what they say. I'm committed. I'm committed to MPW Digital. Get the graphic out. Let's go. I'm retired.
The notes out, ready to go. Bilbo, thank you. We're going to talk CFP in a minute. We'll get to that. So thanks, Stuart, for that question. Let's see. Blake, he said he wants Pete to sign the helmet. We can get Pete to sign the helmet over here that you want. I'm sure Mr. Golding would be happy to do that for you. Yeah, we missed out on Brian Dayball. Siski was pushing that this morning, but already got a hire made. So
that was a little bit of I was doing my CAA job there. I was a little bit pushing a little narrative there. Okay. But I did get the whole Pete Golding thing. I got like out of randomness. Within 4 minutes of each other, I got a call from an agent and then a call from a coach. And both of them mentioned I was like, what do you think they're going to do? I said, brother, I literally said both of them. I said, I don't know. And both of them said they're going to hire Pete Golding. Really? And they both said, and I think it's close to done. And I was like, wow. And there's two people I trust that actually know what they're talking about. And one of them was a coach that's been involved in coaching searches recently as of like this week.
Oh. Yeah, because that's, two different super chats here. Doris from earlier and then Austin says, just joining, scale 1 to 10, whatever grade. Are you giving the Pete hire? Appreciate how you guys have covered this. What does almost look like next year? Well, next year I have no damn idea because you got to reset the whole roster. I can't do that at all. Let's see what they look like on December 19th or December 20th when they play a playoff game, and then we'll proceed from there. But no, look, Neil and I talked really early this morning, as he said, and when we had our first conversation this morning, where Ole Miss is right now at 6:31 p.m. as a program with what appears to be at least going on from a staff and a player continuity standpoint, if you just grade it relative to where they were at and what they were looking at this morning, it's a pretty high grade because they were given a bunch of really shitty options this morning and they've done a pretty phenomenal job given where things were sitting at about 6:15 when McCready and I got on the phone. So yeah, I think they pulled a bit of a rabbit out of a hat right now with everything that kind of got involved as this day has gone on.
I
Yeah.
think you saw. I think you
Go ahead.
saw. I think you saw a lot of leadership on Keith Carter's part. I really do. I think there was probably. I'm assuming there was probably some times last night and early this morning where he was concerned about maybe where this thing could head, and because Lane Kiffin played hardball, and they found a solution that checks a lot of boxes potentially. Yeah, he still's got to do it, right? I mean, and then got to win, and I think we got to be careful of. Yeah, Lane's gone, and here's all these stories that are out about Lane, and yeah, all this stuff. He's also a really good play caller who was a very good offensive coach, and so you do have to replace that under the microscope of the national playoffs. You don't get a warm up against Austin P. You got you got to get rolling day one, and you got to replace his skill as a play caller and his ability to read defenses in real time and make adjustments, and that's going to be a real thing. But in terms of where they were yesterday and where they are today, yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think if Charlie comes back for the playoffs, if it's that, I know Chase, I think you think that's a possibility.
I do.
I think if that occurs, my opinion is they won't skip a beat. And now you'll have to reset for next year with a whole nother process. But at this point in time in the season, I mean, it's literally at this point in time in the season, it's base game plan plus, your game plan stuff, game plan plays and things like that. And I think it's Charlie called the plays anyway. Lane interjected, but I don't think you'll see a beat at all, skip a beat. You'll miss the whistle probably 3 times a game when you tell them to hold up or whatever it is. But, I think it's and look, Lane, I've said this and I'll continue to say it. Lane's one of the 3 best play callers, offensive minds of my generation. He is a hell of a football coach. But, you got to see the byproduct of the being, it's like everybody can't be hot and cool. You know what I mean? Like it's the crazy hot matrix, He's
way up in that corner. He's way up in that corner.
Brother, he's one of the best to ever do it, boss. One of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing about there was nothing about what's happened the last however many days, weeks, we won't go into this as normal. I mean, a lot of coaches around the country in the same position handled it completely different.
Yeah, and last thing, kind of on the hire thing and the grade, I see Doors again. I appreciate you being here. He says that it felt rushed. Wish he'd had a little more patience. Ole Miss, even 48 hours later, was going to get into a mess. There just wasn't a lot of patience you could have right here. Every minute was sort of an hour, every hour a day right now when everything is moving as quickly as it was. You had to decide on some stability and what was going on with this roster in the short term and the long term. And look, here's where Keith did have some patience and voice, and I give them a lot of credit, is that they had a 3-hour meeting where at some point they didn't tell him to just go F off last night. They let everything sit for a night, sleep on it, get to the morning a little bit, because with some of the things I've heard from what Lane has saying and intimating and all over the course of that time period, it would have the wrong leaders in that room. It would have been real easy to go, nope, just go pack your right now and let it fall where it may. So I think there was even some patience in getting to that extent if you get there. I do kind of think that. So
yeah, I don't know what there was to talk about. You know what I mean? I mean that's a long ass meeting for a very small agenda. You know what I mean?
Well, they were fighting about the championship game. If had Auburn won last night, it would have been all about, can I at least stay for the week and go to Atlanta with them? There was a ton about Atlanta.
I think had Auburn won last week, those planes would not have left Baton Rouge, and we would be doing this again this time next week. My educated opinion.
I would like to thank the good Lord. I appreciate
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
The fourth down call. Thank you. Thank you so much. Cade,
that was some stones.
The stops, the Cade threw some blitz packages there in that last drive. Way to go, Kane. Ty Simpson, forever a legend in my heart, sir. You guys did it. That one night, for one night, it was like being back in my childhood. Roll Tide.
The chat's talking about it. Go ahead. We've mentioned this, but Ginger can take her complete victory lap on the E60 being a 100% facade, ruse, joke, whitewashing to get Lane Kiffin's image changed. Because I wrote a column on it this morning and wasn't even meaning to. I just sat down and almost was journaling, and it's what came out. Everybody keeps talking about Tennessee. That was nothing more than an opening act. I mean, what Lane Kiffin has done has shown you that he cares about nothing outside of himself and his own wants, desires. I'm gonna. Hey, I don't think. Hey, he can't hear you. I don't think. But okay.
Hey, Carly Ann. Hey, Carly Ann.
He's a dummy.
Okay, go. Bye. Close the door, please. Thank you. No, it's completely only about him. I mean, you got this huge glimpse of this entire situation where I keep coming back to it. The perfect microcosm are those damn planes, because it would have been so easy to take those trips and had them hidden and just not done it. Instead, here we are, just complete. I don't know. I'm not baffled because it's expected. I mean, some people at LSU had to go, oh my God, please win. Because, I mean, who was this? Or you have to give a name away, Neil. The day that Kiffin was hired, wasn't the one advice to you was he was going to win like hell and he's also going to completely blow it up on the way out of town?
Yes, that advice came from a guy named Tyler Siskey.
He said, Siskey. Oh, okay. Never mind. I didn't even know that. Okay. All right.
He said this guy's going to win big, and he is going to leave in an absolute flame of, I don't remember exact terms. And Tyler underestimated both things. He undersold both how much he would win, and oh my God, at the exit.
I'd also like to take this moment to congratulate myself on being so professional for the last 5 years.
Restraint, keyword of the day, Siskey.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done well.
Lane Kiffin said to me one day in the hallway, he goes, Siskey? Something like that. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, that show. I was like, yeah, it's a good show. He goes, oh. It's just kind of.
Did he really?
Yeah, you could tell it bothered him, and I knew at that point. Yeah, my doing a show with Siskey was problematic for my relationship.
Yes, my daughter did call. That was what she did. She walked in and called Lane Kiffin a dummy. That was what she did. That was the verbiage that she went to there.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I still, honestly, I know we're going to talk about other things. That is my fundamental thing that I can't get over, really. It's that you're leaving someone who's, he's been called a hoe this week. I'm not going to call him a hoe. I don't know anything about that. But someone who loves attention as much as he does walks away from a playoff team that, look, guys, is probably going to end up 6-7, and if they're the 6, they're winning. Where you're going to go to one of the big bowl games, and you're going to get a week in the Cotton Bowl, or the Orange Bowl, or the.
Okay. I got it. All right. Okay, we're talking. Go.
Or the Sugar Bowl. I mean, you're walking maybe
okay.
The road.
Go.
Dad, let me say something.
No, go. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Give me the cat.
Her loose, Palm. Let's go. Her loose. Let's go.
Yeah, we're good.
Just say no to cats.
Yeah, it's the cat that fell down the walls. Okay, Carly, go. It tells you that how people are probably pretty excited about Pete Golding, though, because on a normal day where Lane Kiffin left for LSU, we'd be a little more serious. We'd have to be a little more locked in here at this juncture. So
You got it.
we're all
You
good.
got so lucky. You got it done and done within like an hour.
I am upset with Neil. Yeah, he just did the 6-7 thing, and yeah.
I wasn't even trying to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is the cat that got stuck into the wall. Yeah, that was. I mean, if I gave her the mic, we'd be here for like half an hour. She'd sit there and hold court. She's not bashful. But no, you're right. He leaves a playoff team. He completely just bails on this. What is his Mona Lisa? It's the best season he's ever coached. It's a rebuild year. He's got a backup quarterback that they go find and keep from Temple, for God's sake. Again, nobody even talks about the fact they had multiple players shot and a player murdered before the season.
Yep.
It's everything and no peace. I'm going to go somewhere to try to make the playoff while I'm in the damn playoff. It baffles my mind.
I'm still stunned by it. If you had told me, hey, he leaves the 9-3, 8-4 team to go to LSU, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I get it, absolutely, totally predictable. And I would be like, okay, cool, I get it, 100%. But this 11-1 on a team that has a legitimate shot at 12-1 and wild to me. It is. It's. I just wonder if I were to poll 100 coaches and say, okay, here are your choices. Choice A, choice B, and choice A is 11-1 in the playoffs. They would. I think it'd be 99-1, and I think we found the one.
Yes, he was. Sammy's right. Yes, he was forced out. What?
I mean, can you imagine if you offered Shane Beamer 11-1 and a playoff bid? You'd have to find dinosaurs and dragons and stuff to drag him out of Columbia. I mean, you'd have a fight on your hands.
Oh my God! I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting some text messages that I had to turn it on mute so I could listen to a video.
Some good ones. Okay. I mean, I kind of am too. Look, we're in that. Remember Neil the week that all the Hughes stuff started coming out, like when it was like, okay, gloves are off, so now here's all the stuff. That's today. That's today.
It was a 2:30 game. Ole Miss lost by 35 points to Mississippi State, and by 8 o'clock that night, the emails were whoa.
Hey, put your phone on mute if you open that up.
Me?
Okay. I was sending it to both of you. Just put your stuff on mute if you open that up.
Okay.
Please.
Austin, thank you for the Venmo. Run through a few of those. Sam, thank you as well. Appreciate the coverage. FLK, I know I can make that one out there from Sam. Landon, 0% Judge is retained as OC and or quarterbacks coach next year. Would you prefer him as the quarterback coach and go new OC? Joe Judge will be on the staff. If Joe Judge wants to be on the staff, he'll have a very prominent role. I would expect that he has a chance at play caller if Charlie didn't come back for the playoff, even though I do expect Charlie back for the playoff. But I would think he would be next up should that be the case. Chad, thank you. Robert, thank you. Will Lane be required to do Zoom teleconferences down there? If so, you'll need to ask the questions you really want to ask now that he's gone. We'll leave that up to one other media member that might jump on and have those conversations with Mr. Kiffin. I saw Barstool was selling a bunch of shirts this weekend related to that.
Hey, by the way, I know that that Neil, I saw where Neil made up with Dan Walken on social media today.
He did. He threw him an olive branch, and then Dan sent the dove holding the branch back.
So I got a bone to pick with Dan Walken.
Oh.
I think Dan Walken was on our live today when me and AJ were on there, and Coach JB hopped on there. I think he was on the live because my wife, the lovely producer, found something on Twitter and showed it to me, and I'm pointed it out that I guess it's evidently an LSU thing, but the PR bots. Have you seen this on Twitter? Dan Wolken tweeted it, and so
No.
we were talking about it, and then he actually posted it, and so she's pissed because he took her content idea.
Oh,
There's a PR bot, like if you type in Twitter something about, I'll have to get one. I'll read it. She sent it to me a while ago. I'm talking about, there were a gazillion. If you type in, let's see what it says here. It says, before you guys send hate towards Lane Kiffin, remember that you aren't just attacking a player.
Oh,
but
I
a
did
father.
see this. Yeah, I did see this. Go ahead.
If you Google, if you go on the search bar and hit latest, there are like 60 of the exact same word for word from different accounts. And you can also change the wording up, and they did the same thing for Brian Kelly.
Oh,
Interesting.
But they're bots on social media replying to things.
Let's see. Says don't OPD has been patrolling directly outside Lane's house all day. Let's see.
he's not
Enough
there.
people know where he lives, you think?
Do what?
You think enough people know where he lives?
I think a lot of people know where he lives. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty safe.
Right.
What time was the decision for Pete made today? I wouldn't go somewhere between 9:30 and 11, probably. I could be a little off, but somewhere in that realm would be what I would guess. Dawn, thank you. Joseph, hate that it had to happen this way. As a lifelong Ole Miss fan, wanted him gone since 22. We're going to be just fine. Thank y'all for everything. I'm good. I don't want it right now. No, Carly, take it back. I don't want it right now. Take it back. Take it back. I'm not. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Dominic, thank you. Listens to almost every podcast each week. Thank you guys for everything. Leif, thank you. Ryan, Ole Miss should be alone above A&M if the committee looked at metrics. Overall schedule and recent losses, the committee put Rebs above them. Any worry about not hosting? Siski looks fantastic in Rebel gear again. I saw Andy Staples had Ole Miss back to 5 after beating Mississippi State in the weekend that was. Yeah, their game control should be higher than Texas A&M. Their strength of schedule should be higher than Texas A&M. Actually, from a metric standpoint, Ole Miss has a really good argument against the Aggies from what the committee uses between the two 11-1 teams. Now, A&M does have either one or two more quality wins, the way they constitute quality wins, but they have the other computer models that show them having at least a chance to jump the Aggies. What's our first blush here? Any negative at all to Kiffin being gone with the committee?
No,
I don't think they drop. If that's the question, I think Ole Miss is going to host a playoff game. I think anything else is just freaking ridiculous. And again, I think this is narrative being pushed. I don't know necessarily this is actual fact. I think this is a media narrative being pushed. I'll be interested to see what it looks like Monday and Tuesday if the same people are still pushing the same thing, or it has, okay, it's over now, we don't have to do this.
I think. In fact, I've heard that from a couple of people who are somewhat familiar with the machinations of this particular committee, and they think that the whole thing was part of the plan, part of the ESPN campaign to push Kiffin into being able to coach, because that would be such a compelling storyline. And now I think they'll look at Ole Miss as a team and go, they're 11-1, and their one loss is at Georgia, who's 3 or 4, whatever they are, 3, I guess, in the CFP this week. And I think, Chase, they're going to be no lower than 6.
So in that scenario, in your head, they're dropping A&M below Ole Miss in your head.
I think A&M will be one spot below.
That's the only movement, right? That's the only movement that would make sense.
Yeah, I think so. So I think they're the 6 playing likely an ACC team.
And that's a gift from above because it's Virginia
Yeah.
against Duke for the spot right now.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I will say this. Here's the interesting thing: is if Duke beats Virginia, then it's probably going to be Miami.
Okay, it would be okay. Help me out with that because Miami would have to be a top 11, 10 at large to get
They're
in.
12 now.
So but I guess why do you think they would move up?
Because I think because if Duke, because they're not going to have a Power 4 team with no teams in there, and Miami,
They're not going to allow a situation where James Madison or somebody gets in above Duke, right?
You get the top. The rule is everybody just assumes it's the Power 4 and then one.
Yeah, it's just the 5, the whatever. Yeah,
top 5, right? So they get in, and so that the top 5 in that scenario would be would actually be it could get really crazy. The top 5, that's the thing that's where it gets really crazy because the top 5 in that scenario could be you could have Tulane and James Madison in.
So you think that they will just bump Miami up and call it a day and get them into the top 10 or 11?
I think they will bump Miami up to avoid having the other scenario.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like I mean, dude, do you know what Neil McCready's going to be like 2 weeks from now if he sees the bracket released and Tulane and James Madison are in the bracket? I mean, it's going to be unfair.
But you would rather have Duke in there, Neil?
No,
Well,
I just don't. If Vanderbilt doesn't make this tournament, it's robbery.
If Duke, I think if Duke beats Virginia, they're going to get in, and they're just going to be ranked ahead of James Madison. And Tulane's still going to get in. That's what I think.
The charge.
Yeah, they're going to do something. I mean, you can't. You know what I mean? Like, come on, they would. This whole thing would just blow up and right.
I mean, Miami still is kind of dangerous because they're pretty damn good on the fronts now. I mean, they're athletic as hell.
Well, Miami's a good. Miami lost. Miami. I mean, they are a good team. They got beat on the road, and then they got beat at home pretty good by Louisville. But I mean, besides those 2 games, they've played really well. You know, I mean, and they play. The problem with Miami is they don't play well from behind. But by God, they get ahead of you. They will just run it right down your throat and make you like it, and then they can get after the passer, and they get you behind the chains, and they just that's what they do. Carson Beck's going to set up NCAA record for completion percentage. I mean, he's had a great year and nobody's talking about him, but yeah, I mean, they're a dangerous team, but we'll see.
They're going to be 11-1 teams ranked 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in the CFP this week, and we'll see how they decide to categorize them out. That's what's coming. So Oklahoma's going to be 8 at 10-2. Notre Dame is going to be 9 or 10. Alabama's going to be the other one. BYU is going to be up there. And then, Miami is kind of hanging out right there. Look, guys, Vanderbilt is kind of in trouble even though they shouldn't be. My opinion. I think they're in trouble.
No, I think they're – I don't know how – I think they should be in. I just don't know how you get 7 SEC teams in the tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I understand.
That would make sense.
Wicked Brew, appreciate you as always. Amazed Kiffin called a guy who quit because of NIL and another just got eliminated from the playoffs for advice on making choices. No, he said Pete Carroll told him to take the gig, and then he said God made him do it. So yeah, that was the 2 comments from Lane. God made him do it. Russ Jennings wants the text. Can y'all elaborate on LSU media and how they'll be towards Lane? Well, much tougher than Ole Miss media day to day. That's for sure. There's more of them. They're more aggressive. Yeah, look. I do think this is valid here for a minute, guys. I'll put this on the board. This had nothing to do with football in a way. This was political in Louisiana. Jeff Landry is going to probably be at Lane's press conference. Hell, he might introduce him. He wanted credit for delivering the hottest name in America to LSU's campus to be their football coach, thinking that it's going to be a political win to help offset some other stuff in government he's about to do that gets hit politically. Lane Kiffin is not anywhere near aware of the world and the obligations and the requirements to people that he is going to have no choice but to follow moving forward down there in that area, in that state, and with that regime. It is going to be nothing like he's ever experienced before. He's not dealing with football people and ADs, and Verge Osbury's not running that damn thing anyway. He's dealing with politicians. That's who Lane Kiffin is beholden to now that he is LSU's head football coach. That's just the truth. So that's where we are. Let's see.
Better win big. Better win.
Josh, 12 coaches get to say their team's playing for a title. Only one gets to say he abandoned that team. It's kind of ego we're dealing with. That's a good point. He is one of one in this conversation. Let's see. National media doesn't hate Ole Miss. National media is being told to defend Lane Kiffin. There's a difference. It's not really about Ole Miss. Now, there is some national media that still sees Ole Miss as a smaller program than they actually are when you look at their resources and profile at this point. And you just can't get around it. Like, it doesn't matter if they do this for 40 damn years. It's not going to change, including – and look, I don't know the guy, so, I mean, I guess I'm burning the bridge, but whatever. I don't give a crap. It'll be all right. Like, Peter Burns, every day he's throwing a dumbass banger in here. Like, what is that dude doing? Like, there is something stupid every day. I don't get it. It's like not getting to that second level of thought every single day. I don't understand it. Let's see. I haven't heard anything about players getting paid money to opt out. Neil said he might have heard it but couldn't confirm it. But I have not heard that.
I have not. I have heard it. I've not come anything close to confirming it. And in fact, I've run it by some people who would be incentivized to tell me, "Oh yeah." And they're like, "No, I haven't heard that at all."
Yeah, I just don't get that. What I was going to say about the family dynamic, real quick. Blake, thank you, said he saw Siski at Rebel Rags today pushing a buggy full of gear, drinking 40-ounce Coors Banquet. I think he probably pulled it out of the closet. Siski got a little Ole Miss gear left over from a team.
I got some with tags on. You know, we found some tags on there. We bringing it for fresh out from McCready and Siski tomorrow. She's coming on the show tomorrow. Let's go.
Let's go.
What I was going to say about the family thing is that there's so many Kiffin children when you take in Chris and Angela and obviously Lane's kids and Knox being in high school. It's what created so much local, everybody thinking they knew something and really believing it, and upped a lot of the difficulty on message boards and whatnot, because there's so many people in this town that knew a kid or a relative or something, and they were told something, and it's where I get it, and especially when you want to believe it, you're just the last person to know if it's negative. They're just not going to tell people in the community, yeah, we're out of here on Tuesday, and that's the way it works. And that's what created a lot of extra angst in this situation all the way around for the last few weeks.
It's tough, man. I mean, look, I love Chris. I love Angela, the whole family. I mean, just great people.
They are. They're good people.
Together for a long time. I mean, awesome people. And, you know, I don't know. It sucks, man. You know, it's you know, I can't get into it, but it's not as cut and dry as everybody wants to make it sound, you know? So it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation for the kids. Like, they just want to live. They didn't sign up for it. I always said this. Y'all heard me say this. You know, the coaches, we sign up for it. It's kind of part of the deal. But families don't sign up for it. And, you know, you got to worry about, hey, do I need to send my kids to school? You know, you're worried about how that's going to go over. You're worried about, you know, crazy people, you know, getting too emotional and taking out frustrations on, you know, and look, they're phenomenal people, man. I mean, the whole family's great. You know, and you know, it's a weird deal, man. It's just part of the business, and you know, just it sucks, but for me personally and our family, but it is what it is.
Gary, thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, doubling the offensive pay, whether it was for today, just the rest of the postseason or for next season, that was that's money well spent. I mean, Ole Miss has a retention amount that's been donated in the last few months, and keeping any kind of staff continuity was there. That was a really good move by Keith and Boyce. All credit on that one. Mick, thank you. Says we'll start from Siski now that PG's on the sidelines. If he's going to call his own defense, how is that going to affect in-game adjustments, play calling, anything like that with the extra responsibility?
Yeah, I don't think that one. I think in the playoffs it'll be a little bit alleviated. You know, the adjustment would have been like if this was a week-to-week thing, but with the playoffs, you got 3 weeks to prepare, and it's usually the issues are. And look, I mean, I saw it with Hugh. You know, we went from Arkansas State to Ole Miss, and the amount of responsibilities that you have as a head coach, media responsibilities, and just extra stuff you have to do at this level. It takes away from whoever the play caller is. You're not in the staff room all day long game planning or whatever you're doing, getting practice plans and those things. But when you got 3 weeks, you got plenty of time. So being in the playoffs, and then even if you win the playoffs, it's not a 7-day window, it's a longer window. So you got more time to do what you need to do. So I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal in the playoffs. Now, moving forward, he'll just have to make those adjustments of what look, guys, I mean, I know I know everybody's kind of upset with him, but the narrative he pushed, but he worked for a pretty damn good example for a long time. Some may say the greatest to ever do it there, Neil. And he had his hands in literally everything, and he made it work. Now, he didn't call plays, but he also showed you how to do it right, and I think, from an organizational standpoint, most everybody that went through there got that part figured out. Not everybody, but most everybody got that part figured out.
Again, a couple things here. Press conference for Pete is supposed to be on Tuesday as of right now. We'll see where that goes, but that's kind of what we're hearing. I haven't heard anything about conferences stepping in for anything. No idea. And no, I don't. It's somebody asked earlier, Charlie or somebody coming back and coaching in the playoff, but Lane couldn't do it. Then assistant's a completely different animal. No, not anywhere near the same thing. Just not even close to the same thing. So, no. What, Siski? You look confused.
No, I didn't understand what he was asking about the commissioner.
Something. Let's see. It says, have you guys heard anything about the conference stepping in to have LSU let the assistant coaches coach the playoff? No, it's up between Ole Miss and LSU.
Yeah, that's not a conference problem.
All 2004 NAV, thank you. Says, thanks to your coverage. Appreciated your realistic view. Does Wesley Walls being on the ranking committee help keep Ole Miss since he can't vote for Ole Miss? Having somebody in the room is always good, even if they got to step out when the actual team's being discussed. You would like the pressure of having somebody in that element.
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. It ain't a negative.
Not going to be a negative. I don't know how much of a positive it's going to be, but I guarantee you it's not a negative.
Let's see. All right, I think that's all for that. Yeah, I was surprised by Golding because, like I said, had this been a normal head coach exit, I do not believe would be here right now. I think this was with the circumstances as dealt, especially through last night.
I think he did the best, like literally as good as you could have done it with the circumstances he was given.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think you guys will because you know more than I know. But the limited amount of stuff that I know is he was between a rock and a hard place if and when this thing turned into a search.
Big rock and big hard place. Yes. Like big situation.
Neil, I even teed you up with a chair in the corner and everything. You didn't even take that one. I know you're tired. I can tell you're tired now.
The thunder on, and he's just not. He's like half paying attention.
I just hung the O2 curve. I just hung the O2 curve for you, and and you just watched it right down the middle.
The thing about searches is that they don't happen as quickly as I think the public thinks they happen. That it's like a phone call and hey, this is done. It's a lot more complicated than that. And
Huh.
when you're 3-4 days behind, or in some cases 2 weeks behind, you're unless something happens like Auburn screwing up with John the way that they did, you're not going to catch up. It's not. That's why everybody goes, just get Summerall, and I'm like, it's not that easy. If he could just go get Summerall, I mean, you just go get him. I mean, no, I mean it's more complicated than that. John was.
It was the message board threads that went, "Hey, yeah, he's not signed until this morning, so let's just call and get it done real quick." And it's like, yeah, I just can't.
Y'all know how many?
Yeah.
Do you know how many text messages I had yesterday telling me just call John and tell him to come to Ole Miss? I was like, yeah, let me get right on that. Hey John, need you over here at Ole Miss, John. Need you. Hey, I know. Hey, look, I know you're supposed to be like in pregame meal and stuff right now, but hey, here's what I need you to do. I mean,
well, it's the same thing as on the other side when people go, they're upset with Keith and Glenn last night, and the answer was, "Hey, just fire him." It's like, well, hold on, that's not an option. There's this whole $36 million buyout with no mitigation issue as it relates
the other
to that.
thing is like a lot of people, the suspending thing, right, and reassigning of duties that would have ended up in court where you ran the risk of having to pay the $36 million at the end to begin with, and you wouldn't even get the result that you wanted.
Well, I said this outside of look, it's complicated because look, it wasn't seamless and it wasn't perfect. It's one of the credits that I give Keith and Glenn or whoever was handling this is Lane is such a child, you can't really force him. You've got to let him get it all out of his system. So letting this go on the last even 3 or 4 weeks in some ways the way it was because they won the games. They did go undefeated, and to Lane's damn credit, I guess. He said, hey, we're locked in, and by God, they played well on Friday. I mean, whatever. They won all the games. They went 11-1, and because of that, Keith could kind of just let him do this stuff because if you tell Lane Kiffin what to do, he's just going to do the damn opposite like an 8-year-old. You can't force him into something. Good luck. So,
just because.
Yes. Siski might can answer this super chat. Does Pete have a relationship with Saban? Do they talk? I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine. I don't know that to be the other way around. Pete's a good dude. I don't know anybody that's ever worked with Pete. I've never heard a bad word about Pete from anybody. Pete's very well respected and liked in the community. I got a Pete Golding story. Can I go ahead and tell a Pete Golding story?
Love for you to tell a Pete Golding story.
Me and Matt Luke were in shout out to the hashtag America with the big money line upset win against the Gamecocks this weekend. Me and Matt Luke, I was driving, raced Pete Golding down Highway 6 to see the first one that could get from Oxford to Tupelo to watch Nakobe Dean play Tupelo in the state playoffs. We literally had a hashtag Georgia football drag race down Highway 6, racing NASCAR style down Highway 6 from Oxford to Tupelo. Made it very quickly. I like in the 20-minute range from Oxford.
That's not safe, Siski.
There was nothing safe about that trip.
Who won?
Come on, dog. I'm from Alabama, son. I knew a shortcut to get off 6 to get to the stadium.
It's like when I asked Siski on Friday, I went, hey, do you drive everywhere you go? And he looked at me like I had 9 heads. Like, what are you kidding? Passenger seat doesn't exist.
Yeah. Hey, on the trip back, I ran over a raccoon. Yeah, that was a good trip. I did. Stroked it.
Landon, thank you for the Venmo. He says, how likely is Austin Thomas and an Ole Miss reunion? With Billy following Lane, Austin is 100% in it. Some people have said he's coming, but I've not been able to get that far. But I do know he's one of 2 or 3 realistic candidates for that GM position. So we'll see. I would not rule that out at all, but I don't think it's 100% yet.
I imagine the LSU tenure will probably not go well if he stays there. So I don't know how that would.
I'm assuming as soon as Lane was announced, he went ahead and got a box.
Yeah, he's done.
So
I don't know that to be a fact, but I'm pretty good at these context clues.
Yeah, that's a relationship that's been severed, I believe.
It's probably,
You don't think he had to
very,
wait and let Lane get to the office before he asked him if he was going to be retained?
yeah, probably not. It was probably kind of like when Lane got named at Ole Miss. Everybody was wondering why I went ahead and cleaned up my office on that Thursday.
Yeah.
We
All
see
right.
you.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to be sticking around for a couple of weeks. I had to put some stuff back. But shout out to my guy Brendan Chapman to help carry my boxes to the car. He helped me. We loaded. We came in and loaded her up with the fam. And he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Yeah, we see you." Probably wasn't going.
Flipping, is CAA a large enough shield to put Kiffin on the playoff pregame for Oxford to give his take on Ole Miss?
No,
No, they won't do
think.
that.
I don't think that would be wise.
Well, because even compared to his statement, Lane was playing at least more nice with Marty Smith today. He'd already gotten a little bit out of his system outside of that dumb statement he put out today. So
what was with that statement, man? I mean, that was.
Yeah, I meant to read it and I didn't. Real quick. After a lot of prayer and time spent with family, I made the difficult decision to accept the head coaching position at LSU. I was hoping to complete a historic 6-season run with this year's team by leading Ole Miss through the playoffs, capitalizing on the team's incredible success and their commitment to finish strong and investing everything into a playoff run with guardrails in place to protect the program in any areas of concern. My request to do so was denied by Keith Carter, despite the team also asking him to allow me to keep coaching them, liar, so they could better maintain their high level of performance. Unfortunately, that means Friday's Egg Bowl was my last game coaching the Rebels. While I'm looking forward to a new start with a unique opportunity at LSU, I will forever cherish the incredible 6 years I spent at Ole Miss and will be rooting hard for the team to complete their mission and bring a championship to Oxford. Lane Kiffin.
Sure.
Liar. Liar, liar, liar. Liar.
Do you know who else is going to be pulling for the Rebels to accomplish their mission?
Your
boy, let's go, Rebs. Let's go, Rebs. I'm in. Let's do it. Hashtag.
Now you might have a problem though. Hey, if they end up the 5 against the Green Wave on that Friday night.
Oh boy, that ain't funny. That's bad shit. Why you said that?
I know.
It was not funny.
I know. That's a problem.
That's a problem. I'll just have to do it. I mean, I'll figure it out. I will.
You need the Rebels hosting the Cavs, and you need the Green Wave in Lubbock or something.
Yeah, I probably need to figure that out. That's I wish I had said that. Now I'm gonna be all messed up.
Yeah, I get it. Let's see. Real Gear Online. Good to see you. Says missed it. The Charlie thing, playoff only, or possibility of permanently. Both those are on the table. We're not. Charlie's one of the ones, or maybe the main one, that's kind of in flux right now. Ole Miss does think there is a path to getting him back for the playoffs. Again, it's 7:15 on Sunday night. So if you listen to this tomorrow and something's happened, we don't know that news right now. And then there is at least some possibility of permanent past that. Jack Sparrow says, I'm a Vol for life, but now I'm pulling for Ole Miss 100. Yeah, Tennessee and Ole Miss have a little bit more in common here all of a sudden. Except Tennessee got the lightweight version of this. This is far worse than what he did to the Vols back in the day. Thanks, Russell. Thanks, Brian, for the Venmos. Appreciate you there. And then Porcupine Ralph with a super chat, even though there's no comment on that one. So if you had one, you could get it right here. Let's see. Nichols, thanks for the Venmo. Says Lane going to be giving tips, advice, whoever Ole Miss draws to the playoffs. Now, I think, look, as much of a sociopath that he can be at times, I do think that he probably will just move on outside of the usual Twitter trolling that is going to happen. Go ahead and get ready for that. He's gonna do the Alabama thing where he like brags on you and tags you and stuff all the time. So just go ahead and kind of get prepared mentally for whatever that means to you.
No! I hope he's not watching his mentions tonight.
Mm.
Pretty rough tonight.
It's rough.
Yeah.
The airport was something crazy, man.
Ginger says her friend of hers put the Kiffin statement through the AI detector, and it said 86% chance it was AI written. So.
Come on.
What?
Does anybody, Captain Obvious here, does anybody really think Lane Kiffin sat down and wrote that?
No.
Not a chance.
Not a chance in hell. No. God, no.
Porcupine says, what were the proposed guardrails? Lane would have come up with those as needed. Those would not have been specified going in.
It was he wasn't going to talk to players about LSU. He wasn't going to recruit players. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, how do you police that? I mean, in a world where that had happened, the whole broadcast would have been an LSU infomercial. It was a non-starter. You could not do it. It was putting yourself in the cuck chair. It's what it was, and you can't do it. You can't do it.
It's not even the corner chair anymore. Neil's going higher on the adjective scale here now.
You would be admitting that you were not the primary. You were absolutely not. You cannot do it. It was not something that could not be done.
Okay. Marine, thank you. For Tyler, does Pete have the connection to build an elite offensive staff? I'll let him answer once he gets back in the,
what was the question?
mold.
Pete
know enough folks to put a good staff together?
Come on, guys. Y'all think you think Pete was just like woke up like, oh shit, I'm the head coach of the Ole Miss.
He's been in the SEC 10 years. Come on.
Shit. I mean, I really wonder. I'm sitting here like I love like when people, because I've had a couple of friends in these coaching searches this week, and it's like, and they literally, like, people go and they're like, oh, you must not know anyone else. Like, you must not have a relationship with anyone else except for the 5 people that you work for. Like, you can't talk to anybody else. Come on, guys. I mean, Pete didn't just wake up, roll out of bed and go, oh shit, I'm the head coach. Well, he may have woken up this morning. I don't know, but he didn't just go, shit, I guess I'm a head coach now. I guess I got to hire somebody. I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll be more than fine.
Yeah, I bet he woke up this morning not thinking at all that's where today was headed. Yeah.
That would be a great, hey, look, I don't get to go to these press conferences. I mean, now that I'm turning the leaf, I may have to show up. But what would be a great question would be to ask Pete, did he wake up Sunday morning? Did he have any idea that he would go to bed being the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels when he woke up Sunday morning? Did he have any clues that he would be the permanent head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels when he woke up on Sunday morning?
I think yes.
All right, what about then I would back it up Saturday?
Yeah.
No, I don't think Saturday.
I don't think Saturday. Maybe Saturday night he began to formulate a plan. I think Pete really wanted this job. I've heard that enough today to start believing it. I mean, there was a thing out there that, hey, he really didn't want this job. The timing wasn't right, et cetera. And I know where that was coming from, but I think he really wanted the job. I think he really, really wanted the job. I think he has put a lot of sweat equity into the program. He played a huge role in turning the way the program recruited around. I know Lane gets all the credit. Lane deserves a lot of the credit, but I'm telling you, Pete was an engine involved in that. And because Pete got to Ole Miss from Alabama and looked at what was going on and was like, what are y'all doing? I know this for a fact. What are y'all doing? You're not doing this the way that you have to do it to get the kind of players that you need to get. And he's the one that changed it. He insisted on that change.
That would be I know you got 800,000 questions you're going to ask before you ever get to this, but at some point in time in one of these press conferences that you get him with, that would be an interesting question to ask him, because I think he's one of the best high school evaluators and recruiters on the planet Earth. Ask him about roster building strategy. Does he see it the same as being portal heavy, or will he place more of an emphasis back on the high school recruiting? I think that would be a fascinating question. because I think he's one of the best on planet Earth at evaluating high school talent and recruiting high school talent. Like he's pack your lunch coach. Like if Pete Golding's on the other side, you better pack your lunch. You're in like he's one that you're like shit, that you got to go recruit against when he was on the other side. So he's one of the best.
Let's see, Philip. Any offensive coordinator predictions? Nah, too early for that. I don't know. Appreciate the Venmo. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Says, yeah, no, I think Jeff Levy's good where he's at. I have not. Actually, there was a rumor this morning about Derek Nix, but that was when Ole Miss had no coaches and was just trying to find a way to put things together for like 3 weeks. But I don't think it was ever real. Brandy says, Lane, bye Felicia. Appreciate you. Wendy, go to hell LSU. Surprised that's the first one I've got there. John says, thanks for the entertainment. Appreciate you. Brian Couch being awesome on the coverage fiasco. Go Hernando Soccer there from Brian, hanging out here on this this Sunday. Let's see. Marie got that question. Yeah, good. Jay Robertson, appreciate you as well. Siski, how was all your meat and veggies yesterday? Did you have a good spread? Workout?
Great. It was great. We did a little. So it started. We smoked some sausage. No Diddy. Smoked some sausage to start with. Had that in a wonderful afternoon. What's that?
Why would smoked sausage be a ditty?
Sausage?
Sausage?
I've smoked sausage. Come on, it's not
smoked
ditty.
Sausage. I mean, it could be partaking. Some. I'm just saying. But I reverse seared some ribeyes. Had a little Brussels sprouts, some sauteed mushrooms. Let's go. Little Taylor grocery cake left over from Thanksgiving. Chocolate cake with a icing. Good stuff, man.
Oh, and, we got video of Lane getting off the plane and hugging the AD. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's probably talked to Virg Osbury until today, so probably had to be introduced to him.
Lane's not a big hug.
No. They probably didn't have a North Korean marching band there. LSU does have a good band.
They do have a good band.
Barring something going weird, this is tomorrow morning's podcast. I don't know what we would say at this point. We've been through it at this point.
I can't imagine 30 hours now we have a lot of new material.
Y'all need to sleep.
I kind of do. Like seriously, I'm in that mode right now. I'm kind of. I am gonna miss the dog.
Okay, hold on. Let's go here. Let's go here.
You think Lane left the dog?
I'm gonna go stronger. Did Lane own the dog?
So you think Tom might just still have the dog?
No, that's not what I nope. I asked you a question. It was very good on your part. Don't turn and flip this on me. I asked you a question. Did Lane own the dog? You are Mr. Oxford. You know everyone here. You
know the truth.
And I think
I don't I don't know the truth. I just know the dog spent a lot of time with Tom. I don't know. I mean, I'll work on it. How about that? Can we work on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to know.
I don't know the answer. I want. You're like, what do you think? You think he did it? But no, that's not what that. No, I asked you. Did Lane own the dog? I know the dog was a prop. Good job, AJ. I know the dog was a prop at times, and I wrote an entire column about that stupid tweet.
Did you really?
I did because yeah.
Hey, shout out 247 Sports. Hey, what's rebels247.com? Is that where we're at now?
That's correct. Yeah, you came back today.
I'm back, man. I told you, I'm back. It's been 2,161 days. I have been set free. The truth shall set you free. I'm back. So here was the question, because Neil and I got on this. This is what we got to know. This is Inquiring Minds got to know. So in the event that Juice goes to Baton Rouge and in September comes back to Vaught Hemingway, he just thinks he was on a road trip. And then he comes back in September and they send him out to go get the tea and he gets confused and he sees the home uniform,
Takes it the wrong way.
goes the other side and won't come back.
Oh,
What if that happens?
Yeah. That would make for a great sidebar, as we call it in the business.
I mean, these are the questions we got to know.
Something tells me Ole Miss doesn't let. Okay, I do have some questions. All right, can we do a little rapid fire?
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm asking people.
Let me finish the thought. The Ole Miss isn't going to let the visiting coach's dog, in the event that he is the visiting coach's dog, on the field and run on the field. It's not happening. I wouldn't. I mean, if they do, I will be like, I'm back in the chair. Question: does Ole Miss get away from some of the powder blue now, or have they embraced that completely? Because Kiffin kind of brought the full speed.
I just put on the hat. Come on, we can't do this right now.
What about the sip? The come to the
They're
sip?
still going to wear a ton of powder blue. However, I do wonder if they go back to the red numbers and stripes on the away uniform next year.
Okay. What about
people want the red back on that?
What about the come to the sip, transfer to the sip, 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 sip?
I know Hardy and the sip might go, maybe.
I know some people who think the sip thing went too far.
Okay. I think that still survives, but potentially gets minimized to some degree. That's my guess.
Okay.
Right?
I'm asking.
I think so. I think the party and the sip probably goes.
Okay. It's not a criticism. I've heard some people go, I think we've gone too far with that. And I'm like, huh, okay.
Oh, by the way, did you see Luke Logan go after our boy Rippy?
I did.
Who's Luke Logan?
The kicker.
I did. I was like, wow.
Neil, the kicker in the Egg Bowl after the piss and miss thing happened, he missed the kick.
Oh, okay. I was forgetting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did Rippy I didn't see it.
He quote tweeted Rippy his "This is who Lane Kiffin is" story. And says this article is nothing more than an unfair psychoanalysis of a man that Brian cannot understand. You are not a psychologist. Will you feel better if he leaves because you called it with this lame ass article? You make your living commenting on other people's decisions. That is something that I do not respect. And before you respond with a video or comment on my ability to kick a football, I lived your childhood dream, waiting on your response.
Oh, wow. Brian's childhood dream was to miss a big extra point?
Oh.
That sucks. My childhood dream was to hit the game-winning home run in the World Series.
I'm a little sensitive on this topic, so just to let you guys
know. I was being a little careful with Cisco in the middle here. He was on this field.
I'm a little sensitive on this topic. There's a reason I had to go get this stuff out of mothballs. You know what I mean? Like
Tyler kickers.
A little sensitive on this one.
You got the kick six kicker, and it got the piss the miss and piss kicker.
Neil, you have no idea. Knox, my 9-year-old. Of course, he wasn't even alive during kick six, right? And we're watching the Alabama game. He's in here with me watching it, and I'm watching it. He goes, "We're about to have a kick six 2.0." And brother, I stared him down like I was like, "Don't you ever!" He was like, "I'm sorry." Then I felt bad because I was.
He didn't know.
I had a.
I think I can ask this without you getting pissed. That's probably a bad way to go into a statement. I apologize.
Great lead in there, Parham.
Were you watching all that in real time, or did you see the personal foul and the piss thing? Where was your eyes at during all that?
I didn't know that. I was on the sideline. I didn't see any of it until I didn't even know what happened. And then I knew there was a personal foul, and they were already marking us back before I found out what happened. I did not see it in real time. I had turned away or whatever. I don't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know there was a personal foul or a flag on the field for a while, because that was on as we were on the sideline. That was to our right on the far side of the field, so it was about as far away from me on the field as it could get. And I was probably at midfield or whatever. But yeah, I didn't see it in real time.
I was
Oh, this
texting.
is funny stuff. Thanks for super chat. Preston says, "Why you hating on specialists?" That's Preston Powers, former Ole Miss Rebel. There, that's funny. Good to see you in the stream here this evening.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Rippy thing. I did see it. I was like, ooh, but I felt so bad for him in that time. I was like, oh man, I felt bad for him. I mean, that was probably very rough for him to go through as a
Rippy
player.
did just send me a podcast to load. I bet he went very light tonight. I bet that was just a real even kill, soft podcast from our boy Rippy tonight.
No one loved Lane Kiffin more than Brian Rippy.
God knows what that thing looks like right now.
What a tough day today is for Brian Rippy. Thoughts and prayers.
The question is only: is it more or less than like an hour and 45 minutes? It just kept going. We'll see. I'll load it as soon as we're done here. Let's see. Kyle, thanks for the super chat. Says got a new listener for the 18%. They're always welcome. They're usually the ones that pick our voices out. Women listen better than men. That's where we are. Let's see. Yeah. What do you got on TV? Sisk, you're about to get out of here in a minute. What are you watching?
Denver, Washington. Sunday night
What's
football.
our score?
3-0.
Oh, we just started. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 7:33. Dude, my days have been so screwed up this week. Like, it has not felt Sunday at all day long. Like,
yeah, it is Sunday all day long, and tomorrow will be Monday.
Oh, that is a funny. Baxter, appreciate you. Huge Venmo from you. Right. Really appreciate it. Big listener there. So thanks to you. Says Juice Golding still in the SIP. We'll see. I mean, I put some feelers out here. We're going to see where it goes. I've been asking questions, people. Somebody's going to get an answer. I've asked multiple people, hey, is the dog still here? Who owns the dog?
We need a breaking news update on Twitter whenever it comes across.
Did Kentucky fire Stoops tonight? Why is Stoops' name keep popping up?
It was heading that direction.
Okay. Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do?
Going to pay him $35 million is one thing they're going to do.
Oh, he's owed 75% of that in 60 days. So it's like 27.7, I think, or something like that. And
a reporter asked him last night if he was just going to walk away.
Wait.
You dumbass. No. God, no. No. In short,
I'm not going to out him, but there's somebody listens that I guarantee he's watching right now because he's texted me, text me this morning, want to know if Chris was going to go with Lane. And I'm like,
come on.
You're watching. I'm like, guys, I tell you, the emotion level of fandom brings down IQ points by at least 70. You know what I mean? At least 70.
Logical thinking starts to dissipate.
Oh, it's like, why don't y'all fire that guy? Well, I don't know, because we owe him over a year and a half of rev share in 60 days. I don't know. I mean,
let's see. Hall, thanks for the Venmo. Says Charlie Weiss, Joe Cox removed from the Ole Miss Athletics website within the last hour. Okay, we'll keep track of that as time.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't know about ownership, but I can confirm Juice is still in Oxford, Mississippi. So that's what I got.
most. I mean, I guess they're coming back, right? There's still school to finish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel for the kids in all seriousness. I do.
It sucks, dude.
This tough. This. I hope when everybody's doing the stuff that you leave the kids alone. They didn't ask for any of this. This wasn't something they volunteered for. It's always been my thing is like, you can come after me all you want. Sometimes I even find it funny and sometimes I sort of like it, but man, don't, not the kids and not, just not family. Leave wives and kids alone. They did not sign up for that stuff.
Daniel, thank you. Said you were going to discuss the timing of when Kiffin decided to leave after he was gone. Would you discuss that? Fill me in. Well, I mean, I'll discuss whatever, but I'm not 100% sure what you mean. I mean, what do you think? It's a good question, actually. I'll do it like this, and if this is not what you're asking, then say it. When do you think Neil Lane 100% knew? How early?
The night of the Georgia game.
I think I'm with you because, and I can say this because it's sourced from multiple places. I do know that it was the day after the Georgia game when Sexton and people started planning the Ole Miss is simply not going to have enough talent game in and game out to win, and Lane needs to be somewhere that was going to have more talent. And that started to be justifications from that week. There's 100% truth to that. Yeah. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Then they beat Oklahoma.
Are you just saying like when you think he's going to go or wanted to go? Is that when
he had decided he was trying to leave Ole Miss, be it LSU, Florida, where the hell ever? If one of those he saw as blue blood jobs were open.
I think it was in the summer before the E60 was filmed.
Oh, that's a good point. You know what? Yeah, I think Tyler's the winner. I mean, during the season, when did he go? I'm out. I think it was the night of the Georgia game. I look back on it now, and I think that he thought this team would go 8-4, 9-3, and that he'd get out clean. And then they won. I think the reason that he acted so weird these last 2 weeks, my opinion, is I think somewhere in the days before the Florida game, he found out that, hey, man, you are not going to be able to take another one of these jobs, LSU, Florida, and coach Ole Miss in the playoffs. And I think he threw a temper tantrum. I think the Saturday night of the Florida game after the win, all those weird answers were a petulant child throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
And then that went so south that it was like overcorrect. And they did the because then he started thinking, oh shit, pardon my language, we're going to make the playoffs. I want to coach the playoffs. How do I fix this? And so he did the what's his name? The loud guy, McAfee. He did the McAfee show over the top and got weird and did the weird. It just spiraled on him. And the day after the Florida game was a weird day, a really weird day. Maybe one of the weirdest days that I've had on the beat. Mm-hmm. And then it just spiraled that whole week. And then, last week was weird. And I actually thought there was relief on Friday at the Egg Bowl. I sensed relief. Like I
made it through.
He was like, I got to the finish line.
Yeah.
And you could see it. And the thing happened with Ben, and then, but it was a long press conference by Kiffin standards. And, but yeah, I think looking back, I think he made up his mind a long time ago.
I think he is, had the roster that he had last year and didn't get it done. I think it was made up. I think the decision to start looking around was in the off season, probably, because he had such a good roster and couldn't get it done. and wasn't expecting, like Neil said, probably wasn't expecting with this roster to get it done. And then, it worked out.
Well, we'll see how it works out as time goes on. He's going to make the contract was not any of those numbers moving around either. I mean, what the contract end up being, right at 12, Neil, for the year? Is that right for Lane?
Yeah, it was 12, and I think Ole Miss was willing and had put a contract on the table that was very similar, if not more than that. That's why I kept saying all along, it's not about money. It was not going to be about his salary.
No, I agree.
I think he made up his mind, and now I think there's more to it than that. I think there's a personal side to it that, and it's the part that I'm unwilling to even pick on him on, because I don't think it's fair, and so I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
I do think there was a personal side to it that I think he's just sort of wired in a way to, like, I think he probably looked at this at times and said, why mess with happy? And I think he wondered, will I be happy in 2 years?
Yeah.
I think what this ultimately came down to for him was, and you can call this a lack of self-confidence. You can call this a middle of your life evaluating things. You can call this a lot of stuff. Whatever. It's up to you. I think his biggest fear was in 2 years when the family was gone and he looked up and saw whoever it was that got the LSU job, if he didn't, and that person is winning big, and I think he remembered more how hard it was when he first got to Ole Miss than he did how good it was now. I think he was scarred by how hard it was at first when he got to Ole Miss. And I just think he had this fear of looking back in 2 years and going, damn, I could have had that job.
And he completely just ignores the fact that last year he went 9-3 with a roster that was arguably the second best roster in the country. So, Cole, love you, man. Good to see you. Always enjoy when I run into you. Let's get together soon. Says, thanks, guys. Hate if y'all had to deal with this. It's part of the job. All good. And actually ended up over quicker than expected. Thomas, thank you. Says for Neil from Gracie Bourne and Thomas Delaney.
What's up, Gracie? What's up, Thomas?
Let's see a few other super chats. Real Gear Online, thank you again. Appreciate you. And then Wicked Brew again says, thanks to Siski, brought up this. He'd already decided to leave for the season, and y'all dismissed me 2 weeks ago. Yeah, look, I think he was completely open to it. You just had to have the right jobs. I mean, I got asked this last night, and I said yes, Neil. LSU never opens. He'd be at Florida right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with you. I think that is accurate.
I think the night of the Georgia game he was going to Florida.
Mm-hmm. What are y'all normal time tomorrow? What's the schedule for McGrady and Siski this week?
It's up to my man Mike Tyson over there. Has been boxing with a suitcase.
It just kind of comes down to how long it takes Tyler to put on all of his Ole Miss gear. I don't know how long that takes. As someone who don't
sleep in it, so it won't be taking any time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go at regular time. This is gonna be a different.
I got my Colonel Reb thongs and everything. I'm ready to go.
Oh, it's more than you didn't know. This is gonna be a weird Monday. No, what he said, what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that would be great. You should do.
Hey, no. You can, Neil. Yeah, Lane has his presser tomorrow at noon.
No.
Hey,
hell,
Neil, you should do what he said, what he meant on the interview with Marty.
Oh God, I haven't even watched it yet.
No, tomorrow at noon. I think is when he's doing it at the facility in Baton Rouge. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm not going to do a what he said, what he meant on his LSU.
That would be great.
Conference.
Okay.
You could do one for Pete's on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I don't know Pete, so I can't do.
The segment goes away. Like the whole segment goes away,
I
right?
think Pete's just going to say what he thinks. Like, I don't know that there's going to be a lot of mystery here.
That's it. That's it. I'm doing this for you. Ready? You get the transcript, okay, of Pete's first press conference, and it's what he said, what he meant, and you say what he said, and then you copy and paste what he said to what he meant.
That's what he meant.
The only thing
he just told you the truth.
The only thing I know about Pete is when he gets going, he says, right?
He does. He goes, right. When he gets all ripped into it. Yeah, he's all there, right?
I got a tick like that too. I can't. I'm bad at it. I say and I do say right a lot. I say a lot too. It is what it is.
Unconfirmed asking, do I still feel like the Weiss thing's real, even though he's been removed from the website? I've heard nothing different. Now I've been online now for a little over 2 hours, so I'll start checking in with people. But yeah, I know I don't know anything different from that regard. I don't.
I'm sure nothing was discussed. I'm sure nothing was discussed on the plane on the way to Baton Rouge either.
They're dead silent, reading some books, Kindles, that kind of thing. Yeah.
You don't 100%. Think Lane took some pictures of his dead Soxies and put his feet up in a woman's lap and took pictures and stuff like that? You don't think that happened on the plane?
He's out.
It happened in Oxford all the time.
He's out again.
It did.
Oh. All right. Another podcast probably Tuesday morning is kind of where we are here. Now, again, Pete's press conference, we don't know the time, so we'll have whatever to you there at that juncture. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know in PW Digital. In the meantime, they got McCready and Siskey tomorrow. He's over here dying. We just killed Tyler. Just dead.
He did.
Just dead.
Why is that so funny? He did it repeatedly.
Appreciate the crowd, by the way, across all the different platforms. 26,000 online right now, listening to this of all things. I don't know that I was going to say a ton about Layla. I didn't mention it. I don't think Layla liked Oxford. She's here for her kids, not for Lane. And I don't think I think being at a bigger place was a positive for her. I do believe that. How much impact that had on Lane's decision, that requires me to think that anybody has any impact on Lane's decision outside of Lane. But no, I do not believe that she was beating down the door to stay in Oxford at this point by any stretch of the imagination. So that's where I'm at there. So Siskey can't speak. He's done. So I'm told, by the way, that Lane has not had primary possession of juice in almost 2 years.
I am shocked right now.
Now we got a scandal.
Okay. Well, I've got a breadcrumb from that conversation I need to check on, but I got to ask somebody else before I say it publicly. So maybe we're on the dog beat now as we move forward. I'll update what I find out.
This is the journalism that we're in for right here. This is what we got. This is what we got to figure out. This is the important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is AJ joining us tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Oh good. I'm so excited.
Wouldn't miss it for the world, obviously. So yeah.
He's in.
Yeah. Oh Lord. All right. Let's do it then. We'll be back Tuesday morning. Appreciate all you guys. Seriously, all the Venmos, all the super chats, hanging out in the stream. Just the growth and the site, Rebels 24/7. We're still 75% off for VIP access through Monday, I think, is where we are on that, through Cyber Monday. So take care. I'll load Brian's podcast. We got this tomorrow. No, Lane is definitely not coaching a bowl game at LSU, and we will talk to you very soon. Love all you guys. Take care. Pete Golding, the new head coach at Ole Miss. Later.